Do you want to learn a professional website agency's process to designing websites? My name is James Little, and in this video I'll be sharing our step-by-step process for designing business-based websites using WordPress, which we've used to successfully create hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of websites for our clients. I'll be sharing all of our tips we've learned from 10 years of trial and error, how to avoid headaches with clients, and how to earn even more income from clients after the website is built. Let's jump in. Hi guys, my name is James Little and I help web design and developers grow their freelance or agency business. And in this video, I'm going to be walking you through step by step how we build out new web design projects. So this is going to be more specific for people that are building out WordPress or local business websites that generally we recommend being built on WordPress. So I'll be going through step by step how to get started with this and how to avoid some common mistakes as far as over promising or having clients that are trying to push the friendship. So to start things off, I'm going to assume that you've already got a lead that's come in through either your website, through a referral, or some other means. And the first thing you're going to do is take that lead and schedule them into a discovery call. What we generally do for this process is run them through a few questions so we can pre-filter them based on their budget, their time frame, and what sort of requirements they have. That allows us just to have a bit of a better understanding as far as what size of client it is and whether we're going to most likely have a good relationship as far as offering what sort of services we generally do for them. And so once you've gone through a discovery call and worked out the sort of goals and if you guys are a great fit, then you're going to be understanding a few different things about them. So what sort of functional requirements do they have? What sort of design requirements? And overall, what are their expectations from the project? From there, you can go away and then move into the next phase, which is really providing them with a quote based on all the things they've said, understanding the size of the website and taking into account different things such as do they want a specific mobile design? Are there any API integrations and that sort of thing? So in that phase of quoting, you want to really make sure you're covering your bases as far as what they've requested and foreseeing into the future for things like maintenance plans. So you can mention what the future of their website can look like. So once you've done that, you're going to be sending over the quote to them and hopefully they'll accept the quote. And in that next phase, it's really sending over a contract and sending over an initial deposit invoice. So I've got a whole video about how we structure those. You can click the link around the video to learn a bit more about that. But just for some quick points about the contract, you want to specify really what is included and what isn't included. So things like SEO performance, overall website performance, and things like that, you definitely want to make sure it's clearly written out what is or isn't included. It's going to save headaches for you and the client further down the track. So now the client's paid a deposit and the next phase here is really the requirements gathering phase. So in the requirements gathering phase, you're going to be talking about all the different things and collecting them from the client that they want to have included on the website. So that's everything from the basic business info, like the address and contact info, through to the services and other special things that they want to have on the website. So it could be different contact forms, scheduling software, or other things like that. Making sure that all of that copy for each of the pages is really accessible as well. And in a lot of cases, most of the businesses aren't professional copywriters themselves. So you've got two options here. One is to really say, all right, you provide us with the content when you can. Or what we generally do and advise for this to happen is to say, let's get a professional copywriter. We've got a service that we recommend, and that's going to provide for a much quicker turnaround. Because the last thing you want is relying on the business owner that you're now working with to provide you with copy when that's not their full-time job. They're busy with their own business. That's why they came to you for a website in the first place. So if you can take that off their plate, you can either charge that as an additional fee, or you can just simply hand it off and they speak to the copywriter. But one thing's for sure, what we always recommend is getting all of the content done before anything else of the website starts. The main reason is that if a design is started without any of the content, then it is incredibly frustrating when the copywriter comes back or the client comes back with content and it doesn't match up at all to the design. Meanwhile, you've gone through, you've spent time on design, you've paid the designer, and now they're going to have to be reworked, or the designs are going to look crap because it's not catered to the content that they've provided. So as annoying as it sounds, and you want to get stuck into the design and development, we really recommend to reduce chances of doing rework, get all of the content together, and then sign off on it. Say that's it, that's the content that's done. If there's more, then that's fine, but we need to charge an additional fee. Make it super clear. And really, one thing to mention here at this point is each of these we're working through in a sequence and signing off on each of the phases to go through and make sure that there's no changes to scope, no changes to content or design once we've signed off on each of those phases. Otherwise, it's not going to work in a predictable business model, and you're going to be in the red for some project, and it's going to be frustrating, and you're not going to be able to scale your business. So just on that, so let's assume now you've got the content and it's come through, you've signed off on it. The next is really the design phase. Now, one thing to specify in the contract is really talking about the number of iterations and revisions. We generally recommend 3 iterations, and you can do that through 2 different ways. You can start with wireframes to start with, so there's just overall idea of the structure of the pages, or you can jump straight into high fidelity mock-ups of how the design will look on a website if they've given you enough specifications and enough examples to work with for what their preferences are. So within the design phase, you're going to go through and do the 3 iterations, let's say, and once that's done, depending on how you've structured it, you may or may not do a custom design for the mobile as well. It depends for us, depending on the budget, whether we will include that or not. But in this case, let's say you've included the mobile designs as well. You've signed off on all of those. And now you've got all of the content, you've got all of the designs which incorporate the content, and now it's to move over to the actual building of the website. So this is the development phase. Now the development phase, if you follow the steps so far, are quite easy because it's simply a matter of matching up the design and implementing it. You've got all the content, you understand the functionality, and now it's a case of choosing your website builder or working out how you're going to build the website. So for 90% of cases, I'm going to say that if it's an e-commerce website, you can use something like Shopify, or if it's a basic business website, then you can use WordPress. Both of those cover most use cases for most businesses, and I think they're the best place to really focus and hone your skills on building out. So there's a lot of clients that look for WordPress and Shopify devs as well at the same time. So now you're going through that phase, you've picked your website builder and you're starting to implement the designs. Depending on the size of the website, this can take anywhere from a few days to a few weeks, and then even a few months depending on if it's a very large website with a number of hundreds of pages. So once you've gone through that phase, everything's been built, then you're going from development into QA. QA stands for quality assurance. That can be performed by yourself, or we have at Simplex Software a team of QAs where we go through, we've got a checklist of making sure things match up to the design, and also from a functional perspective, deliver what we promised at the start of the contract. So QA is really, it's either spot the difference in the designs, quite simple, or making sure you're going to try and break it or run it through a different series of cross-browser compatibility scenarios to make sure everything looks and works as expected. So now the QA phase has been finished and the website's been developed and you're happy with how it's looking. Now it's time for the handover and moving on to a maintenance package. So it's quite self-explanatory what's involved here. You're really sending over the credentials, providing some basic documentation for how things are working, and then moving someone onto a maintenance package that takes care of things like backing up, content updates, and that sort of thing. I've got a whole video based around this that'll be around the video now if you want to click and learn more about that. Once the handover's been finished, then it's really a case of asking for feedback and seeing if there's any referrals that they've got and letting them know if you've got any sort of referral program, why and how they can refer extra work to you. What we do, and we think this is a great way for you to organically grow your business, if you've given someone a great business experience with building out a website, then what we recommend is creating a referral program. And you can offer simply a cash incentive, something like up to $500 per referral. That's what we do depending on the size. Say if it's a $5,000 website, then someone can be earning up to $500 for that. And then say if it's more of a website development project, then that would be a percentage of the retainer that we're agreeing upon. That's a great way for them to know, if there's anyone that they're asking about, hey, do you know someone that does websites? They'll easily point you back into their direction, or into your direction rather, because of the fact that there's that incentive and also you've done a great job for them. So now congratulations, the website's been finished, you've handed it over, and now you've really got a referral partner that's going to be looking out for you to refer you new projects as well. So that's a great way to grow your business. Another great way to grow your business is really with your existing client that you've just made a website for. So a website is really just one piece of the puzzle, and there's a whole realm of other services that you can offer that are going to help businesses based on their business goals. I've got a whole video about this, specifically diving into how to increase the value of your business through selling more services to your existing clients, which you should definitely check out. We'll pop a link around the description. And if you got something out of the video, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. I'd really appreciate that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.